All right, everyone. Hello and welcome back to the Pirate101 campaign, where Dalen will regale us the tales of what happened last time.
Yeah. So last time we made our way to the destination where we were supposed to meet up with Catbeard, and we met the wily fellow that's a cat, obviously, by the name, and he had a plan of going into the Armada platform that we have known about before, but didn't want to approach. And he wanted us to infiltrate in there using some of the special cannonballs that they had to teleport ourselves in and out afterwards. And we had 3 objectives in there. That we wanted to do. There was one was a prisoner that we wanted to rescue. The second was a tablet that had inscriptions that were probably related to El Dorado. And the third one was to use explosives and blow up the wind stones that were keeping the platform aloft. And so we made our way there on their bigger boat, and teleported inside while Catbeard and his crew kept the Armada Navy occupied. Dalen went around and scrounged up some of the materials that Quinn wanted to gather while we were here. Max and Ferris went upstairs and tried to distract the guards and rescue the prisoner, and they also found the tablet in an office. And then after that we made our way downstairs and blew up the wind stones and teleported ourselves back to the ship that Catbeer was operating, which was pretty heavily damaged, but we managed to do it in time.
All right. You get the re-roll today, and how much of this do you share to Catbeard?
Everything but the tablet, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think there's a reason that we would want to tell him about the tablet, but I'm not sure what the rest think.
Okay, so we have the tablets, we have the documents we got from the desk.
We have the prisoner too.
Right. I'm not seeing a huge reason to keep a bunch of stuff from him. I'll probably look over the documents on my own first.
Yeah, that's a good idea. The only reason I brought up the tablet is because Avery specifically wanted us to snag that one and hadn't told Catbeard about it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say right now you are on Catbeard's ship because he's still pulling away. But I kind of figured you'd be catching him up. So with what you've told him, he says, well, I say then that's a job finally done. Well done. My cleanup crew, you've certainly cleaned up that fortress that was plaguing the Skyway.
Good riddance.
Are you sure you're ship is gonna be fine, as he looks around at the, like, relatively burning ship.
Yeah, that's gonna need a bit of work, but honestly, you did a great job. It's still in one piece, and we didn't have to leave you, so I call that a win.
Yeah,
Seems like you got everything. You saved this fine young lady here.
How's she doing?
Well, she needs some time to recover. The Armada, while they keep you alive, they don't exactly keep you well. But we'll take her back to wherever she comes from, rest assured. Port Regal or perhaps the Scurvy Dogs.
Do we know who she is?
I don't know exactly who she is, but I have a suspicion. Of course, you could also just ask her yourselves.
Maybe we'll go do that.
Quite right. But before we split here, I would say my advice to you is you shouldn't leave on your own ship until we harbor with Scrimshaw. This way you can blend in with the crowd a bit more easily before you split off from us, and your Armada will have a harder time finding you.
I have to agree.
That's fair.
Okay, so we're gonna be roomies for a few days, is what you're saying?
Yes, yes. But well-paid roomies. And he gives you 1,500 gold.
Ooh.
Fortunately, I didn't have to take anything out of that on repairs.
Well, this is quite generous. Thank you.
Well, as I said, this expedition was paid for by Port Regal. I have a feeling that they want our little friend here back quite eagerly.
There must be someone important, but well, I guess we'll figure that out.
Of course, and if you need to set your things down and look out or even sell some things you found in here, we're right here if you want to do any such transactions. Or if you just need space to be to yourselves, we'll provide that as well.
Got it.
No catch.
No catch. I mean, honestly, you were the catch. You took out everything. You did it perfectly.
So I look at the damage on the ship.
He just kind of waves his hand. Some damages were part of the plan. If we could do this without being if there was part of the plan where we got out of this unscathed, well, we would not have a plan at all.
Fair enough.
All right. And what do you do from here?
I think we're gonna go talk to the prisoner.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. So you go downstairs, and Catbeard's ship has quite a few places for people to lodge and stuff. He has a lot of duplicate rooms that you noticed, but you eventually find her kind of making a corner for herself with a little hammock.
Hey, are you all right?
She nods to you.
And if you don't mind my asking, any idea what they had you in there for?
Yeah, I think so.
Devin just kind of gives her a look, kind of suggesting
Yeah.
continue.
And I circle my hand, kind of expectantly.
I created a cannonball that I think they viewed as quite the threat. I don't know how they found out I made it. But one way or another, they thought that I wasn't just a threat, but could be a better use in their hands.
What does this cannonball do?
We called it the clock swap cannonball. It would allow us to temporarily take control of some of the clockworks of lesser control. Their leaders would be immune to this effect, but enough chaos could give us a victory if we set them to fight themselves, or so we thought. Did not really do me much good when they came.
Where did they get you?
They took me from the Scurvy Dog Landing to the west of Scrimshaw. They took me from it.
You're just alone, or?
Well, the Scurvy Dogs there are... We don't necessarily strike it on our own from Marleybone per se, but we have more autonomy than Port Regal would, for instance. But they were not enough. The Armada pretty handily got rid of any resistance.
It'll seem like quite a useful weapon against them, but that makes you a big target on their radar.
Yeah, what's to stop this from just happening again?
She just shakes her head and says, I don't know. It'll take temporary freedom over that any day.
Is there anywhere you would like to go? Port Regal, perhaps, or you have something in mind after all of this?
She kind of sighs and rubs one of her arms. Port Regal might be the best place. I don't think I'd want to go back to Marleybone itself. I'm sure that the Navy would love me to go back there, but there's too many things I'd rather not see again.
Well, hopefully Port Regal is at least fairly safe.
I can't imagine the Armada would overtly attack you there. There's too much of a risk in bringing Marleybone against them.
All things considered, we've obviously made an enemy out of them. In fact, they've left threatening, ambiguous threats on our doorstep a few times, I think.
My doorstep.
His doorstep.
It was rather rude.
But would there be any chance for us to maybe use these weapons?
I don't have any materials to make them with, but I could probably supply them to you, though by so doing, that would rouse suspicion as to how you got them, and their search would start anew.
And it would lead him back to you.
But I mean, aren't they probably going to go after you anyway?
Well, you don't want to
She-
put her in more danger.
She shrugs. Depends on how high of a priority they put me. From what I felt like, I think they were looking for something else and just took me because they were just in the neighborhood. That being said, if I become a bigger threat to them, they'll put more effort into it.
What makes you say they were after something else?
They were asking all the scurvy dogs questions, trying to poke around ruins.
What kinds of questions were they asking?
I don't know. I didn't really have much of a chance to see before they carted me away. Or I guess here.
Who was conducting this interrogation?
I wasn't interrogated there, but I was interrogated at the outpost by a rather square-shaped mask, I guess. It was rather matter-of-fact in his way of speaking.
Was it a more fluid speech? More fluid than the common mechanical speakings?
I believe that he was one of the, I don't know what you want to call them, awakened clockworks, perhaps?
It's an adequate way to put it.
And were they asking you questions just pertaining to the cannonball, or did they ask you something else?
They asked about anything that we may have found on that island, but we didn't really find anything other than ruins and gold there. But they definitely seemed, from what I heard, I think they wanted me to meet one of their other subordinates named Bishop.
Bishop.
She nods. I don't really know who or what that is.
I've only heard rumors. I've never, well, he seems to be some sort of an engineer or inventor for the Armada.
Well, there you go. Guess that's what they wanted to have me conscripted for.
I'm not sure how much value your invention would have to them, though. I mean, they already control all of the clockworks, don't they?
They do, but from what I understand, Bishop has a very inquisitive mind. When he finds something interesting, he will go on very large tangents and divert resources to acquire it and tinker with it.
Maybe they're trying to make it so that the cannonballs control flesh people.
I don't think that's it, Max, but
Well, I mean, are you sure? I mean, they want all these spirit crystals, and I mean, flesh things have spirits and robots don't, so I don't know, maybe.
That's a disturbing thought if you're right.
We'll file that away as a possibility.
I first thought that might be a little bit closer is trying to empower themselves by overclocking themselves, so to speak.
Well, whatever the case, I'm glad you got me out of there for my sake and for everyone else's sake.
Yes, well, we're glad we were able to get you out of there. You seem to have a pretty rough time in there.
She nods and extend a shaky hand and says, "My name's Jasmine."
Devin.
Dalen.
Yes.
Oh, I guess Max and Ferris are really the ones you probably are. Yeah, whatever.
Well,
Max
you
just
all
kinda
appreciate
waves.
the aid.
Yeah. Yes, and
But yes, you two were my first responders, and I am grateful for that.
yeah, just another day in the life of the cleanup crew.
Yep.
Well, let's hope there's a finite amount of messes then.
Yeah, you should probably enjoy the free catering if Gabbeard is offering it. I certainly
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, I'll enjoy anything other than whatever long-term preserved foods they had at the Armada. Honestly, I don't know how they call it food at all. It seemed like they took a checklist of items that you need to live and shoved it all into one can.
Yeah, like I said, enjoy the catering here.
She nods and kind of back in the hammock.
We'll leave you to rest, but I guess one more question. I know you don't want to divulge the secrets of your weapon, but could you at least explain the methodology behind it? Or do you think that would also be too great of a risk?
It would be a risk to know it, for sure, but perhaps it would be wise to give it to you, because at least then they would have to hunt down you for knowing the knowledge, rather than me for being a supplier. But that'll take time to write down everything that it would require to create something like that.
Quinn will kind of look at the rest of the group. Are you okay with enlarging the target on her back a little bit, especially if it helps her out a bit?
Well, they're already after us anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Technically,
I don't know that it's gonna mean anything compared to us, destroying their outpost.
Well, hopefully they don't fully find out about that since we used this ship, but yeah.
Yes.
As
We also
long as we keep the weapon a secret for a while, that should at least not draw too much attention, as long as no one knows about it.
very well. Well, we'll leave you to rest, Jasmine. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Alright, what do you do from here?
The next thing is Dalen would probably pass over the parts and the Armada tent that he picked up for Quinn.
You got quite a good haul here. Thank you, Dalen.
No problem. I just had to scrounge it up, and it took a bit, but hopefully that's all you need.
Well, there's a little something else, if I could ask it of you.
Certainly. What is it?
Well, you see, the reason I wanted these parts is I would like a bit of an upgrade. To explain things a little bit, I was formerly a Dragoon, which Dragoons are some of the Armada's most elite fighters and warriors, and some of the Dragoons even have minor augments to them. Well, when I was attacked, when I first met Devin, and the undead took me out, I lost a lot of my components and a lot of my parts, and, well, I just haven't been at the same power levels, should we say, as I was back then. I was wondering if you would be willing to perform an operation to install a sort of arcane power core, if you will, to help me regain some of these functions and maybe even add a couple new ones.
I'm willing to try if you trust me that far, but I'm not sure how complicated it would be.
I'm not entirely sure how complicated it'll be. It'll be reasonably complicated, though. But I trust you to get the job done.
Very well. Do you want us to do that here or later?
If we could do it now, I would prefer that, seeing as I don't know when we'll get another opportunity to breathe.
Alright. I guess we'll find a room that's relatively secluded so that we're not in the way of anyone else.
Yeah, you guys have your own space, but there's basically a kind of a pull down curtain between you and the rest of the room for privacy.
Sure. Yeah, and I guess Dalen would first look for any sort of panel that Quinn might have to be open.
On my left side, there's some screws and some clamps you can undo there. That'll open up my chest.
Alright.
And Quinn will kind of guide Dalen through kind of the basics he understands.
Yeah. So, what are the other three of you going to do while these guys are doing the Operation Quinn upgrade?
I'm probably just gonna go eat, as I alluded to earlier.
Yeah, I'll grab some food, and then after that I want to look over some of the stuff that I grabbed off of that desk.
Alright. Just on your own, or do you want to do it with everyone?
Yeah, I mean, with everybody else if they're interested.
Alright.
Max will probably be there with Devin, and he's got his Sunblade in one hand, and he's clicking it on and off like it's a pen.
And I'm probably there with a handful of rolls that I'm just eating that I took. Like loud
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah, when you went to the kitchen, it seemed like that the crew member that can actually cook was basically just making a feast. You were counting up about 16 plates in total.
Yeah, just as Max is clicking, I just kind of offer him a roll too.
Oh, thanks.
He takes it and starts eating it. He's much quieter eating, but he's still clicking.
I wonder, can you toast those instantly if you cut them with that fancy sword?
I put one on the table.
And he's gonna cut it with the sunblade.
Cuts through the table.
So you know when you leave bread in the toaster for too long?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what happens to the bread on the outside. The rest seems
It
fine,
works!
but you have some very charcoal bread.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
I know it was.
Instant toast. 1000-degree knife.
Oh, it worked to a degree, I guess. A lot of degrees.
And he's gonna eat it.
It's probably not as good as you'd hoped, but it's
Very
toast.
crunchy.
Food is food.
He probably says with his tongue slightly black as now.
Yeah, crumbs all over the place.
And eventually, there's like a bell rung for everyone to join dinner.
Though,
Oh, did you-
before that,
Okay.
you can assume that this operation has gone by and finished, and we never even mentioned this at the start, but everyone leveled up, so what exactly did you guys get?
Okay. So I hit level 5 in Paladin, so I got extra attack, and I gained access to level 2 spells.
Attack is pretty fun. Especially with what you have.
And that means I picked up my next spells for my subclass, so I got Hold Person, which has some potential, and Spiritual Weapon, which I will probably never use.
To be fair, those second level spells are just also good for smites.
For Dalen, I got another spell of level 2. I got expertise in all of the tools that Dalen is proficient with through management, through trying to fix up Quinn and seeing what works, what doesn't. And then I also got 2 more infusions. I picked up the spell refueling ring and the alchemy jug, and then I replaced one of the infusions that I had before for a different item, which was the Lantern of Revealing.
Alright, okay. That'll be interesting. And the tool expertise, I can imagine, is going to be quite useful given the amount of work the ship has needed, and not to mention when you guys have been working on those items.
Yep.
Max or Ferris?
Oh,
You
I
guys
thought we
go.
were going in alphabetical order.
I was just kind of going down the...
Okay, Max got expertise in perception and acrobatics. That's it.
Simple and effective.
Does the sneak attack go up too?
Nope.
No.
I think that's every other level.
It's on the odd levels, yeah.
I got, besides like the regular increments going up, I got lunar boons and waxing and waning, which means basically means instead of a long rest, I can use a sorcery point to switch the phase of the moon I'm in. And the reason that makes a difference is because the other feature is waxing and waning. Depending on what school of magic the spell is, I get a discount on using meta magic with it. And the spells I got was, I forget what I swapped out, but I got Vortex Warp because that was fun last time, I guess. And Fly, because that's always fun. Flying is fun.
You can never go wrong with either of those, honestly. And I can imagine that reduced sorcery point cost is going to be very helpful.
Man, we're gonna have the fantastic flying Ferris coming up.
Well, I have twin spells, so it's probably going to be 2 people a lot of the time.
Oh no, he's gonna be a circus master. No.
He's going to make people jump through hoops of flame.
Yep.
And then, lastly...
Quinn, I've taken a dip into Wizard. So, level 1 into Wizard.
This means magic.
Got his
Yes,
own little-
it's kind of magic, but it's a lot of mechanical too.
He's got this new little core thing that, with the help from Valen that you've just had installed, functions as a sort of spellbook, huh?
Yep, spellbook / arcane focus, and now that I'm sitting down and thinking about it, I basically turned into Iron Man by accident.
So very
Piece of
cool.
shit.
Wouldn't that be a warlock? Because you'd like have the repulsor beams.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I got, and you'll see more of the spells and the different things as we go along. I got some fun flavor for all of it.
Very cool.
Nice. But yeah, so during the celebration, Catbeard just kind of says, "Well done, my esteemed crew and hired cleanup crew. Today we finally brought down the menace of this Skyway Armada outpost, and we're extremely successful. Pickled herring for all." So there's about 8 other crew members that he is giving these pickled herring to. He has one in his hand already, one plate of this stuff. There's 5, so 1 for each of you, and then there's also 1 for Jasmine. There's also an extra one.
These things taste, are these things appetizing?
So it probably depends on your tastes. I'd say Max probably really enjoys it, but
Yeah.
if you don't like seafood or some of those, like, I guess more pungent blends of spices and things, if you like it kind of on the milder side, it might be a little overpowering.
Yeah.
Probably quite salty.
Quinn's gonna like
Caleb
pretend to like be eating stuff and then just passing it to Max under the table.
Max is taking it.
Same.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, don't hand it to the person that was malnourished.
I mean, depends where we're sitting. I guess we can both
Yeah.
be next to Max.
I guess we're kind of like in our own little group.
Yeah, like
I
Max
mean-
has this giant pile of it on his plate now.
You're all effectively in the dining room, but yeah, you're probably all seated next to each other. Imagine it as like one long table.
Well, pickled herons isn't bad, but I like the rolls.
The rolls are way better.
Yeah. Where's the butter? Who has the butter?
And this
Is this the butter? And he'll just like point out like a jug of like wine.
No, but I could use some of that. There's just kind of pour.
And he'll pass it down.
Yeah. Yeah, and
chug it down.
I just I pretty much try to just take advantage to the hospitality.
Yeah.
I'm a
You
home
can't
cooked
get any
meal.
extra plates of pickled herring, unfortunately. Not even the extra one.
Yeah. You know, just one of those guys who always takes seconds and thirds if like it looks like nobody else is eating.
Of the rolls, at any rate.
Yeah.
At the very least, it can be said that you won't be spending any supply for the day.
Yeah. Eventually, Catbeard takes the spare and says, "Well, continue the festivities. I'm going to retire for the day. Well done, everyone."
Have a nice rest.
Eventually, the crew begins to start filing back to the main like sleeping room and so forth, or taking up their positions during the night. And you guys are left alone in this room.
Max is probably still eating the pickled herrings.
You might be able to see his face again at this point. You might have gotten through enough of them.
Pile has shrunk.
Well, were you three able to find anything interesting with that paperwork?
Oh, right, we went over that. I kind of forgot about it because I figured out I could cut bread with this.
and he clicks it, and then he looks at the pickled herring and he gets that face.
Are there any leftovers? Just
Of
anything.
Like, anything.
Yeah.
There's probably like 2 rolls left.
Oh, okay. Well, enough for like a meal, like any just kind of even like some left on the plates or
Roll me a percentile.
all right.
First
Four.
roll.
Oh, yeah. There's not quite enough here to really scrap up anything for a full meal. It's more like the equivalent of snacking.
Okay.
They'll clean their plates.
Anyway, yeah, the papers.
Yeah. Do you look over them while you're alone here now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So the letters are written in Valencian. However, unlike Deacon's essentially like perfect print, this handwriting looks very different. It's like the equivalent of cursive, where a lot of letters look extremely similar, and it takes a little bit to try to read them. Except for you, Quinn. You know this script and who wrote it very well.
Oh. How old's the paperwork?
This paper here seems to be maybe a year or 2 old. And you know that it was written by Lord Lorenzo.
Quinn just kind of like reverently, like kind of like picks up a piece of paper and looks over it.
And what it ends up saying is I have to change the music. To my esteemed scholars, king and queen, I have finally learned the Saurian language, and more so discovered their greatest secret, some kind of hidden bastion. To my knowledge, it is Strego from other descriptions of it. However, the implications of this discovery are of the utmost concern. It describes an awakening, and I have reason to believe this contingency is very real. I must consort with the king and queen at once to discern the safest course of action for our world and the spiral. With it, there is a like a guide of translating Saurian to Valencian and back again. So with this, Ferris could use it to read Valencian, or Devin could use it to read Saurian, but you would have to obviously be in like not a time frame where someone's shooting at you.
Right.
And there are more similar documents, although these seem to be much less pertinent to this, more about his daily life, the things he went to. He even mentions you a couple times, Quinn. And unsurprisingly, there is a date where all of these things just stop.
These letters are from Lord Lorenzo.
That name is familiar.
He was entrusted to my care. I was his primary bodyguard, though back then my allegiance was primarily to Deacon and the Armada first. I was a bodyguard, but I was also a spy, and later I was given the order to conduct a assassination at the Saurian temple. But strange events happened during that, and I backed out, but the undead made sure that the attempt still did the job. I knew he was investigating something. He was quite the scholar, but I didn't realize he was studying the Saurians quite like this.
I don't remember. Were you stationed at that outpost while you were working with them?
Quinn shakes his head. No, the outpost wasn't even here when I was over here. That's a new addition, and I was never told the reason for the assassination. Just the orders.
The Saurians do seem to be, well, not hiding something, but they seem to be quite knowledgeable about a lot of things that it seems were lost to time, at least.
Is there something we could do with this information?
I don't know. I was hoping either you or Devin would have more insights into this.
There is the tablet still to look over.
Oh, right, we got this too.
Now you can read it directly, can't you, Ferris?
Yes, I have Sarian.
All right. Dalen and Ferris, give me an Arcana check.
Only 8.
Just a second. This is only using tools, okay. 21.
All right. So, Ferris, you begin to recognize that there is a spell cast on this when Dalen probably just kind of blurts out its invisible ink.
So I mean, there's.
Go ahead.
So that just means it's misleading then.
That's illusory script. Invisible ink means that there had to have been a condition met for this to be visible. And with it, you read, "To our successors with no memory. If you are awakened with intellect remaining and find this tablet, Bartleby has failed. The cataclysm has begun once more, and we have made the necessary preparations for you and your allies to make a last stand. The Black Windstone stands ready, and each of its 7 pieces lies in a world without a Titan. Gather your allies, gather the pieces, voyage into the void, and activate our last bastion. Activate Shivalba."
Oh.
And you find a black shard encased in this tablet.
I just kind of pull it out or can I pull it out, or is it set in there pretty tight?
It might take a bit of like mustering. Maybe you get Max to help pry it open with a dagger or something. Like this shard is pretty big though. Like you could effectively use it as a dagger if you wanted to. But yeah, you got it.
Didn't Avery want this?
Yes, he did mention. He said that this seemed to be one of the primary things the Armada was looking for.
But did he ask us to retrieve it for him directly, or did he just mention that they had this?
I don't remember. I know he wanted it intercepted, but I can't remember if he specifically requested it or not.
I don't think he did. Since they weren't the ones that suggested we attacked the fortress or the outpost. I think they just mentioned that it was there.
It was. What it said is pretty long. Could you maybe post it,
Yeah,
or did you?
I can do that for you.
You can
I'll
actually,
do this
if
thing
you want
with
the.
Lorenzo's as well.
I was about to say, yeah.
Does anyone know who Bartleby is?
Doesn't ring a bell in my head.
Doesn't sound familiar, no.
No. Eckert doesn't remember either. And I'm gonna guess it's someone from his time.
Well, the tablet's message seems like it's for Eckerd.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Possessors with no memory. So that would suggest that he was set aside as some sort of contingency plan, I guess.
Quite possibly.
It would seem like it.
I remember the first thing we did together, a world without a Titan. That's... You guys remember which one that was?
I don't know which world specifically. I just remember that there were the Titans of old that were incredibly destructive.
Well, maybe we can ask around about that part, and perhaps put an X on the map of where we should probably bring our next search to find 7 pieces of black windstone.
Yes, it seems like the Windstone is likely the key to finding Xibalba, which I guess it sounds like it was made to counter the cataclysm, whatever that is.
And it seems a little odd. A spell was used on this to hide this message. Wait, I'm gonna try and maybe experiment with the tablet by moving it away from certain people.
It remains the same.
Devin first, and I put it down and move away from it.
The tablet remains the same.
Just a question with the things you have written out in the resources chat. Would that be like general knowledge that everyone knows, or would we need to like find that information?
What information specifically?
About Bartleby, I guess.
You would someone roll a d20 for me.
I got it.
Yeah, it's not a name that you guys are very familiar with.
Should we use our inspiration to re-roll that, maybe?
No.
Okay.
If it's important, we'll find out.
You guys are very polarized today, it seems.
Well, I guess we have to plan our next move. I think it might be a good idea to leave Skull Island. I'm not sure if we'll find all the answers we need here.
Don't we need to take this back to Avery, though?
Well, taking it back to Avery is probably a good idea. We could also ask more about it and see what she knows.
That's true.
Maybe keep it in our pack and see if he starts asking about it, and try to probe a little just to get a feel of why he wants this.
Agreed, that might be a good idea. Also, above the table, the message on the tablet, is that the invisible message, or is there like another message on top of that that's invisible?
There are no other messages.
Okay.
It's simply
Like this
the
isn't
tablet.
like engraved into it or anything. It's quite literally like painted on with something.
Yeah, it's just I'm curious of what the condition was for it to reveal itself. Like my first guess is like it's in proximity of someone, but that does not seem to be the case.
My guess is once it's revealed, it stays revealed.
Yeah, maybe they needed to find one of the black shards and join it with a tablet, but
Or maybe it just
That's-
appeared because it was near Eckert.
Yep, that's what he's pretty sure is the case.
that would make the first message make sense. Yeah, the first sentence.
So when we give this to Avery, are we just gonna keep the Black Windstone piece for ourselves? Do we even tell him about it?
Yeah, I think we should keep the stone. He wanted
Yes,
the tablet. He'll get the tablet.
Agreed. In my mind, I feel like the stone is rightfully Eckerd's. It seems to be, I don't know if birthright is the correct term for it, but it seems best for him to hold it.
Legacy is probably a better term.
Another thing I'll say about the invisible ink spell, it becomes invisible again when its conditions are fulfilled again, so it's just weird that it's staying like this.
Simply.
Do I recognize the name Strago?
That is the Valencian name for El Dorado.
Okay.
And El Dorado's the same thing as Jibalba, right?
That's what Avery told you.
Okay.
I suppose there's no value in overthinking it, and we can.
Yeah. Things move forward with action, so let's act.
So yeah, I guess we'll retire for the day.
Do you keep Lorenzo's stuff, Quinn?
He will. That's okay with everyone else.
Yep. Who's holding the black shard?
I'll take it.
All right. Quinn, you kind of run over these things and begin to understand the things that Lorenzo had discovered, and you get the linguist feat.
Oh, wow.
One of the languages you learn must be Saurian, though.
Okay, I'll make a note to do that later.
Yeah, so essentially you can make ciphers, and you learn 3 languages, and your int goes up by 1.
Int bonus, yes.
All right, but after all of that wonderful stuff going on, the The sun rises the next day, and percentile rolls are back around.
So we actually get a long rest this time.
Yes. Catbeard treated you well.
Full on feast.
Full on feast. You spent quite a bit out of pocket for that, but you seemed happy with it. Yeah, so whoever wants to do the percentile roll, remember Catbeard is slower than the rest of than you guys normally are.
3 spaces now.
78.
Ready.
Alright. You guys continue forward. So he only moves 3 tiles, so he's pretty slow. Yeah. And he's supplying you guys, so you don't have to burn through rations either.
I guess
So you-
Dylan will help out with fixing up the ship and stuff.
Right.
Max is
I'll also
fishing.
help out.
Oh, what was that?
Max is fishing.
Let's see. You're just fishing. Have we done this before? It's been a while. It was just a sleight of hand.
Oh, sleight of hand. Okay.
Or was it dexterity survival? It was one of those.
I thought it was a dex survival.
Okay.
A dex survival.
Okay, that's a +10. Got it.
It's like it doesn't matter. I win these both ways.
25.
5. Okay. You happen to catch a few fish throughout the day. Just your regular size, like salmon.
Any
Well, not
herring?
salmon. You know what? Just coin flip. Roll me a d2.
Syntax.
Nope.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, that's wrong.
2.
Yes. You happen to catch some herring.
Catbeard's probably like, oh, impressive.
He's sharing with the captain.
Just cut down every tree in the forest with a herring.
Alright.
Two cats
So
are back.
you've caught maybe like 3 supply worth of fish, including the 1 herring. So
Okay.
if you wish to share that with Catbeard, maybe you can actually turn that into pickled herring. He does have the
Stuff for
the
it.
mess hall.
Alrighty.
I'm essentially going to stay in my room and just spy on people with Luna, using it as a form of television.
As a form of television.
Is there anyone on the crew you're specifically looking for? The helmsman, the first mate, the cook?
I'm just kind of like having her just go around and like whatever's kind of interesting, like eavesdropping on someone's like conversation about their job or something, and just kind of laugh.
Okay. All right, yeah. You hear some stuff. She probably hears about grapes once, and you almost lose control of her.
No.
And she says, "Is new grapes in big barrel."
Oh, you don't want to drink that. That's not great. Well, that is grapes, but you'll I don't know if you can take it.
Sick grapes are grapes. Yeah, you might put her in timeout for trying to go and visit the barrel.
Yeah.
And
And yeah, the day rolls around. No consume required. And someone doing the next percentile.
Yeah, it's
Going down the list, it would be
At 20.
Ooh. 20.
All right. Yeah, I think you're good.
okay.
You know, I said nat 20, but you know that's a D100.
Yeah, I know that's a.
Oh yeah,
However,
I had to
consider.
double check the chart.
Yeah.
79.
Yeah. Are you still spying on people on the second and third day?
Yeah, why not? It's just kind of learning embarrassing secrets or seeing embarrassing
Okay.
secrets.
Catbeard has been taking extra food, which is not surprising. He's fat.
Yeah.
But you don't see like two plates in this same place. Like he takes them in, but only one comes out. Like one dirty dish comes out. The other one is not in the room.
So, run that by me. He like brings 2 in there, and only 1 comes out.
Yeah, only one dirty dish comes out. You don't see the other dirty dish.
All right, switch it to the Catbeard channel, Luna.
Okay. You're gonna have her like hide in like a corner or of like some of his things and just keep peepers on him.
Yeah, if it's kind of like boarded cabin, or you like go up in the ceiling, or if there's anything to hide behind, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you see him come in with another like 2 plates. He eats one, leaves it, and then the second one he then gets up and then he starts doing something out of sight because there's like a bookshelf in the way. And you don't see him for another 10-15 minutes, but you can hear him. And then he comes back out again without the dish.
After he leaves, could I send Luna to go over there to see what he was doing over by the bookshelf?
Yeah, it looks like a flush wall at this point. So, you know, there's something to do with the bookshelf and this wall going on here.
Did it appear to have opened, or like a secret door or something like that? Or
It sounded that way.
but a bat probably couldn't open that.
Yeah, and you're not entirely sure what the opening sequence might be, but you know
Okay.
that there is one.
Is this a pattern? Like, is it the same time every night?
If you've watched him for the past 2 nights, then, well, I guess, yeah, have you watched him do this the past 2 days?
Like, I'd assume it would be around mealtime, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, then I'd probably assume that's when it happens.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're pretty sure it's the same?
Yeah. I'll see what secrets you hide tomorrow. As you see me like talking to myself on my bed. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm probably gonna get like Luna in like good position to see what's happening there.
All right. And at the start of this day, Catbeard says, "Well, Scrimshaw is right over there. So it was a pleasure doing business with all of you, but I think that our time is at an end. Thank you for your work here, and I hope that we may work again someday."
Oh. Darn it. I mean, yeah, it was a pleasure working with you.
Well, I didn't realize that you wanted to work with me so much. But do not worry, my dear friend. There will be time for that in the future.
Yeah, I'd love to. Or Weed would love to. Right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime.
Yeah, they kind of like make port. You guys have pretty much patched up his ship for him, so he doesn't have to like get repairs. So they probably bottle it and kind of like scramble off into the city to like hide their tracks.
All right. I'll rate this place again as I look down at the garbage all over the street.
Yeah, there was like there was about I think 11 people with him. The 8 crew members. Oh, actually, I should ask. Were you going to escort Jasmine, or did you want him to?
He would probably have a better idea of what would be a safe place for her.
Yeah, we usually get attacked by squids, space squids, and we're probably not a safe place for you.
But I'll leave the decision up to Jasmine.
I was more asking you guys. You'd be fine with either outcome.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would suggest that Catbeard should probably do it, but I'll tell her that we're willing to if she would prefer.
All right. Unless any of you have any objections, she'll go with Catbeard then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, yeah. So the 10 crew members of Catbeard, mostly Marleybonians, scatter into the city.
Are we leaving this place right away, or are we going to actually stay here?
Well, we just need to go back to Skull Island, right?
Yeah, I think that was the plan.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't stay here, because we might get recognized by a few rats.
Yeah. So let's set sail.
All right,
Onward.
you're back to consuming but moving fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we're gonna be heading south on land for a little bit before we get to the southern border of the island.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean you can just
So what we had been doing before was stopping every hour to have Ferris recast Phantom Steed. I have a potentially faster alternative that will require less stop and go. So I'm going to work some magic, and after 10 minutes, I am going to conjure an Allosaurus using Find Steed. Well, it looks like one. Mechanically it isn't, but that's what it looks like.
Ready?
So, similar speed to Find Steed, but we're not going to have to keep stopping over and over again to recast the spell, because it'll just last permanently.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, no, I'll handle this. You'll still get the one tile boost, but it may not affect some other things.
Alright, I think it's Crow's turn to roll.
All right. $88.
88.
All right. Ooh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead and take the move. Oh, you already did.
Yeah.
No. And so as you near the edge of Scrimshaw, you see what seems to be this oh, guys, I've noticed Albert's been having issues with the player list. Don't worry about that. So as you end near the edge of the island of Scrimshaw, you see what looks to be this crate just sort of sitting aside, just humbled over, open. And a few things have maybe just sort of fallen out and they're scattered all over the place, but some of it's sparkling.
Is it crying?
No, it is not crying.
Well, let's look what we have here, guys.
So as you approach, you look through, and mostly it's trash, maybe like some torn pants here, and there's a bloody shirt. But amidst all this, you find what seems to be a pile of around 50 copper and a rough stone of some sort of gemstone. Unpolished, but perhaps it could be either cut or it could be repurposed. As it stands now, it's not worth much, but who knows?
So 50 copper and a stone.
An uncut gemstone.
Okay. Well, let's 10 copper each.
Whoa.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Speaking of spending in one place, how are we splitting up that 1,500? Just 500 each?
It'd be 300.
300 each?
300 each.
That's kind of what I assumed.
Okay.
So I should write it down as uncut gemstone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm gonna take the bloody clothes.
Okay.
Disguise get max victim.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that the day ends and you consume.
Can Alan fit on the ship?
The Allosaurus.
Yes.
Yeah. I believe you can also like find familiar poof him if you want to as well.
I would have to recast the spell to resummon him,
Right.
which will require me spending another spell slot.
Yeah. Yeah, he can chill on the boat.
Luckily, I don't think he requires any sustenance or anything since he's magical, right?
I don't think the spell specifies.
Yeah, we'll just assume no for the sake of convenience.
It's a fake creature
Yeah.
or whatever, so it doesn't probably.
Has
It's
anyone
not
even
actually a
seen...
beast, it is a fae.
Vegetarian dinosaur.
Photosynthetic dinosaur.
Here's the question. Is it the old style dinosaurs before we knew, or is it
I don't know if these guys had feathers or not.
A Jurassic Park one or a historically accurate one.
Exactly.
Has anyone even seen, like, character-wise, even seen an Allosaurus?
Probably not.
No, can't say I've seen a lot of rats.
I mean, he
Such
is
an odd creature.
I think it's your turn to roll, Zapper.
No, it is.
He's a dragonborn, so it's like maybe those kinds of creatures live there.
54, down the middle.
Down the middle.
All right, so before we plot our course, do we want to keep or sell that spirit crystal that we got?
I don't think we were told it was a spirit crystal. It's just an uncut gemstone.
No,
I
no,
think-
no, no. I mean from when we were raiding the.
Oh, right, yeah.
You do have that giant one that was worth. How much?
Oh, you didn't tell us how much it was worth.
It was 4 of them
Yeah.
in comparison, I think.
Right. Think of this, like how much it was per extra.
It was 200 each, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. So
We are talking about the one that we found on the Armada ship, right?
yeah, and
Uh,
Okay.
The one that you found in the mines.
No, not the one from the mines.
I think we already got rid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one in a box at the outpost. Do you
Right.
DMs remember that?
yeah, I remember
Okay.
that one. I'm like, you got from both of them.
Yeah, that's
Who is this?
So you have like the big one, and then you have like the regular one.
that's why I'm getting confused because the big one I know was the one that was equivalent to multiple.
Well, that's the one we had
Yeah.
to give to the witch doctors.
Like, dude,
So the one from the Armada outpost is just a single one, right?
yeah, it's just a single one.
Yeah.
We could use it to. We could use this to craft, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably keep it then.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Anyone got any necromancy ideas?
Nah.
There's more to spirit than necromancy.
I guess.
But yeah.
That sounds like something the witch doctors would say. It's not evil, it just kills people a lot of times.
I don't know that.
Turns them into meat puppets.
Necromancy doesn't kill people. People kill necromancy.
People kill people, they're just reanimated people.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so it's next day now, right?
Yeah, and
Consume.
missions. Also, since you're back on the ship, since it was an uneventful day, I don't know if you have any uses of the fishing net.
Oh, sure.
A thing to note: has the tablet changed since we departed from Capir?
It has not.
Still visible.
11.
Right.
Wow.
So that's
It's not
11
5.
rations? Or, oh, it's 5.
Or no, a 6 and a 5. That's what it was saying.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
11 rations then?
Yeah, that's a lot of fish.
You're gonna have to slam 10 of those on the boat.
Max is probably just like, look at all the pickled look at all the herring we found. Can we pickle it?
I'm also gonna just keep note of this this tablet too to see if it invisibles itself at any moment. Since I'm not
Okay.
spying on people anymore, I'll just kind of keep look at this.
Yeah, keep your notes on notes.
Do
on
we-
it.
Do we know if it still has magical properties?
Like the tablet itself, or
Yes, just in general.
the writing itself is magical.
Okay.
Okay, Matt.
Alright, that's me. 57.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
another uneventful day.
consume and roll.
$17.
All right. Well, you guys will make your way to Avery at the very least. We'll see what happens after. And Ferris, you've been studying this for a few days, and you're beginning to think there might not be a condition for it to cloak again. Or if there is one, the trigger to do so is extremely broad.
You mean extremely specific?
Well,
Yeah, like
yeah,
it would be
extremely broad.
difficult to like they wanted it to be seen by a lot of people. So whatever condition to turn it off would have had to have been not very easy to do once it was turned on.
It's more so to get insight of like what turned it on, rather than is what I want from this.
Yeah.
But would detect magic, would that, or identify, would that be something that would find out what the condition was?
Yeah, I'd say so, because you know these spells pretty darn well. I think are both of those rituals?
No, I don't have that. I think I have detect magic, maybe.
I have identify. If you ask me to do it one day, I could do that.
Yeah, maybe let's just find out what set this thing off.
Yeah, I'll replace Verifier today and use Identify then.
Okay. So kind of like while you're prepping to like go into like the city and visit Avery, you kind of cast the spell.
Yeah.
And between the two of you, you figure out that the condition for this spell was based on it's kind of hard to parse out, but you get the meaning of cataclysm out of like pulling parts of, I guess, quote unquote, the weave out of it.
Like so what made the invisible visible then?
The cataclysm.
The cataclysm
Whatever that is.
is what you're kind of getting from it. You're not entirely sure what about it. If it was a timer for it, if it was starting, if it was something specific, whatever it is, this thing, they had a very particular thought process of what it was, and it had to have been somewhere in the wheelhouse for this to turn on.
Effectively, their condition was involving this cataclysm itself, and
So let me ask this question, because I'm kind of unclear on it. Was the ink visible when we got the tablet, or did it appear when during the time we had it?
it was
visible.
Okay, so we've just been able to see it the whole time, and it wasn't until closer inspection that we determined that this was invisible ink at one point.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
more or less, you didn't know, you saw the stuff written on it, but you just didn't read it because it was in Saurian.
So yeah, so like this cataclysm is happening, and that's what activated it.
Yeah, happening, or maybe will happen if they were able to predict it somehow.
Well, that's kind of ominous.
Very, but I don't think we know what that means actually.
Hmm.
Well, it sounds like it's gonna end the world. Or several.
That's what cataclysms usually do.
Yeah.
But I've always seen that just written on walls and graffiti all the time. Like the end is near, and you know.
I mean, it could be a doomsayer message, but
Yeah, I don't know how often those sorts of graffiti usually correspond to members of lost civilizations partially coming back from the dead, and tangible evidence like this.
Well, it could be. Like, I don't think the dead are above messing with people. But I see your point, and I'll put a pin in that.
Speaking of pins and things, so I assume that you guys were like riding your way here with the cart, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So as you arrive in Skull Island Republic, one of the wheels in the cart just falls off and starts rolling away.
Oh, come on.
Feline agility to go get it.
Luckily, it's not like it's too much of an issue to actually catch the wheel, but now you have a cart that can't really go anywhere.
The Dark Steed Mobile is broken.
Well, we could perhaps fix that later. I'll just temporary restoration it.
Well, at least we're already here,
Oh, we're here.
right? Did I hear that correctly? We're here?
Yes.
We'll take it into the shop and get it all fixed up.
Alright, so you probably have
Yeah.
them working on it while you guys are going to see Captain Avery.
How much does it cost to get the wheel put back on?
10 gold.
10 gold? Okay, Max will pay for it.
Couldn't Dalen just cast mending?
I don't know, could I?
I need to double check.
Is the stipulation 1 inch or 1 foot?
That's what I need to check.
1 inch, pretty sure.
And how
foot.
big is the damage?
It's a wheel that broke off an axle, right?
Yeah. So,
I don't think mending would be able to fix that.
Oh no, it's 1 foot. Sorry.
Oh, it is
Larger
1
than
foot.
1 foot.
I'm like, then yeah, probably.
yeah, that would be enough.
Hooray!
It's
Dalen
not a
saved
magic
you.
cart, so.
You saved
It's not.
$10.
Pulls out his finger torch and just. Bzzz.
Mechanic fee has been avoided.
But yeah, we go to Captain Avery.
Alright.
Alright.
You make your way inside and you see that Morgan is actually with him. And he says, "Oh, it's good to see you, my friends. I hope that your venture was successful."
Wait, out of character, who's Morgan?
That's the raccoon, right?
Yes.
The what?
You met her like a couple days before meeting Catbeard.
She was with
The feet.
She was with the Bronze Voyager.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Bonnie Ann's boss.
So, what do you have to tell me about your expedition up there? I hope you were successful.
I'd say we were.
We successfully gotten there, and we even saved a prisoner.
That's very good. Were you able to recover the tablet?
That we were.
That's good.
Who
Are
has it? We can go ahead and present it.
yeah, he kind of gives it a run over, and Morgan also comes over and says, "That's the one." He's like, "Well, it's a good thing that we took this from the Armada. Do you think that they were able to decipher it before we got there?"
Almost certainly. Though I don't know how useful what's on it would have been to them.
Well, what do you mean by that?
No, we read it. It just seems like a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
I don't know about that. It
Morgan?
talks about some sort of cataclysm.
A cataclysm?
Yeah. Do you know what that means?
If I had to guess, it's whatever wiped out the Saurians.
That is one possibility, I suppose, but what cataclysm could be happening again? From what I've heard, the spiral seems to be relatively fine, other than the Armada trying to shut everyone down.
It also mentioned something about one Bartleby. Does that ring any bells to you?
I can't say that I know who or what that may be, but what about you, Morgan? And she just kind of like puts a hand up while she's still like reading over the tablet and like whispering to herself. And then pipes up, "Bastion! Well, it appears that El Dorado was created by the Saurians to be a safe haven of sorts. Magnifique."
So it says. I guess you also saw what it said on there about black windstones.
Yes. Unfortunately, it seems that we don't know where they are. Perhaps there used to be one here where there's an indent, but I don't see it on here.
I'm gonna pull it out and show it. Yeah, there was.
Oh, good. Well, if you have it, it means the Armada doesn't.
So apparently the other 6 are on worlds that don't have Titans. I can't say I'm too familiar with them. I know Dragon Spiral, or Dragon Spire, has one, but I'm not familiar with where the other ones are located.
Very few are, and to be honest, we probably want it to stay that way. From what the scholars and wizards I've spoken with said, they seem to be what some people believe to be the origin of magic, or perhaps the spiral as we know it.
Well, conveniently, we're not looking for the Titans themselves. We're specifically looking for worlds where they aren't. So we only need to know their locations so that we can avoid them.
It's hard to know for sure. However, the most I've heard talk about Titans were wizards from the Ravenwood School whenever they would come by. And Ferris, you know that's the school on 3rd G.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I guess there is one place that kind of rings a bell with.
And Captain Avery sees, well, it seems to me like they created this as a haven of some kind, where they just brought all of their wealth in case of this and to wait out whatever was going to happen or be unnoticed. If you're lying outside the spiral forces trying to destroy each other can't reach you.
But if that's the case, why would they go through all this effort to try to warn people about it?
Well, perhaps they deemed it necessary to try to save as many as they could. Perhaps they wanted to share their wealth. And if we reach El Dorado before the Armada, then we will have that wealth within our grasp. And I think between the two of us, we want that in our hands, not theirs.
So do we want to go to 3rd G and research where these pieces would be, or do you guys have any other plans?
I think that sounds like the best move to make.
I agree. 3rd G seems like the best bet, and they seem to, well, they're a magical school. Surely they've got some studies into something like this.
Yeah, we might be able to find something there.
It sounds like a good idea to me, my dear adventurers. However, I do have one question. Which route do you think you want to take there?
Good question.
To go around Mushu and through Wisteria or through Celestia?
Oh, wouldn't Celestia be a shorter route? It's just 2 worlds away than 3.
Celestia is the shorter route, however, there are complications with the Stormgate to 3rd G being a whirlpool. Your ship might take on quite a bit of water before coming out the other side. However,
that is
perhaps
a bit of...
the Marleybonians have discovered something.
They seemed like they were protecting something the last time we were there.
They also seemed like they wanted as little to do with us as possible.
That's usually how their navy treats everyone, honestly.
Well, there is a lot of things that aren't known about Celestia. Most of it is very difficult to find. If they found a way down there, they want to be able to leverage that as much as they can, or keep others from finding what they have discovered.
I don't know if that's really our concern at the moment, though. It might be better to just go via Wisteria.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad last time. I actually think the stop in Mushu is worse than the Space Squids.
Mushu is quite an interesting place.
It seems like the kind
Well-
of place where you could sneeze and they'd fine you for something.
Oh, that is possible, but there are laws for reasons. Everyone has different ones, but find the reason, you find your leverage.
Well, I guess going through Mushi wouldn't be too bad as long as we at least had papers this time.
That is
Yes.
true.
As long as we have those, we can be in and out in no time flat.
Yes, I can square away any paperwork you might need to get to Thursday throughout any route you might take. Perhaps the Commodore could help you out with Marleybone if you choose to go through Celestia.
Is it a guarantee that they would help us?
You could pull some strings, I'm sure. You might have to do a favor for them while you're there, however, it would cut down your travel time significantly, I would say.
Well,
That
if the
might be. Go ahead.
If a cataclysm is coming, we probably want to be a little bit more expedient.
Yeah, that's
Well-
exactly what I was thinking.
As long as the shards are hidden, I don't think we have a time constraint really, but
The Armada's going to be looking for them, quite possibly.
That's a good point.
Besides, if this cataclysm's already started, then
I think I can send our dear friend Bonnie Ann to send her crew looking for some shards as well, though. You won't be alone in this race.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. If this is important as that tablet is making it sound, we should probably put as much effort into this as we can.
Now, there is the question of what happens if we do get all of the pieces. My proposition is we split the loot equal shares.
I think that sounds pretty reasonable. We're doing, sounds like roughly equal work on it.
Yes. And having something like that in our back pocket would make it so anyone in the spiral would finally recognize us as a true republic.
so you wish to take the island or the world itself as well.
Well, the riches and knowledge we would acquire from it would allow us to become something that the spiral could no longer ignore. When we have some of the most well-regarded artifacts and people to back them and read them, then our efforts would be better. They would find our efforts combined with theirs would be better than if they continue to look the other way as they have.
I wonder if they just decide to take it by force.
Well, depends on how many we are up against. But ideally, I think that they would want it in our hands rather than the Armada's, and if they weaken us, they make it easier for the Armada to take hold of. They would lose both ways.
Well, we'll see how the politics play out when that happens, I suppose. But I'm for one, I vote to go through Celestia. I think that's a good idea. What do the rest of you think?
I agree.
That's my vote.
I guess then we're all in agreement.
Very well. I'll get some paperwork to you before you leave here. That'll help you get through to there, and also a note to the Commodore that he can hopefully find something out for you.
All right.
And before you leave, Morgan does say, however, do not be surprised if Jack asks you for his own favor. You're going somewhere that he can't. He finds that to be good business.
Better to get it out of the way now.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I would also be careful. Make sure you don't leave many trails behind you either. I know Deacon rather well. And I believe I'm the only opponent he has found to be a true challenge. I'm just as crafty as he is.
Do you have any suggestions for avoiding his eye?
Well, there are a few methods. Jack, surprisingly, is a good one when he wants to be, or at the very least he'll slow Deacon down. But I more mean, you might want him to find you. Make him think. Make yourselves have something that he cannot ignore and has to respect. In the game of chess, you might call this a queen's check. You must make him move and then punish him for doing so.
I see. Well, thank you for the advice.
But good hunting. I'm sure we will hear from each other again.
Yeah, good hunting.
Alright. And I believe that you still have movement today, so you could probably still make it to the Commodore and the shipyard. Yeah, it's 1, 2.
Max is gonna check his mail before we go.
Yeah, that's.
Can I sell this disc to that disc I found to the Musketeers?
Most of the Musketeers are at the Presidio, but you might find you find someone who might be willing to work with it, though you don't know how much cash he has on hand.
Okay, maybe I'll wait then.
What's in Max's mailbox?
Tax.
Nothing important.
You might go mail off some tax letters. Send off a couple of pieces of gold or something.
And then we go to the shipyard.
But did he qualify for a new credit card?
Huh.
But yeah, you make your way to the shipyard and back to the Commodore.
All
That's
right.
your ice. Revive yourself.
Hi. Well, once again, you find yourself at the building, and after asking around a little bit, you end up getting a moment of his time as he steps out from his office. So I've gotten the letter. You were looking to help again?
If possible, we need a way to convince the Marleybonians and Celestia to help us get through the storm gate to Thurgy.
Right, and that is a little bit of a problem for most creatures that aren't sea dwellers. Luckily, they aren't scheduled for another delivery for quite a while, but if you're willing, we could expedite that. Perhaps another cargo run.
We can do that.
I'm certain the workers would appreciate it, and well, scratch my back, I scratch yours. It might be something of a larger delivery, mind you, but well, you need your way in.
I'm sure we'll need to be a little bit more assertive this time, but hopefully we can do that.
Got any code words or anything?
I think you already know of our code now.
Mm.
Though it's not exactly in words. Rather,
Just let us know what we need to deliver.
well, I've got a few crates out back. Larger ones, mostly just worker supplies. Though, I should point out now that, well, if I'm giving in a good word for you, it might find itself cut out of the normal pay. Though, we can be upfront on that, since, as I've been told, you'll just be going right through, and, well, we can't really have any confirmations. At least, not confirmations from you, but I can assume we'll be getting them from the workers. So, I can offer, say, 250 gold for a delivery such as this.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, I think we more or less just need it as an excuse.
If you can guarantee that it'll get us through to Thurgy and, you know, ideally back again, that's fine.
I can always include some necessary paperwork of my own. A simple signature here would more than guarantee that they'll let you through. And he turns back around, grabs a stamp, and the business ledger. He pulls out a page, just involving the actual cargo's inventory, stamps it, signs it, and hands it over to you. If you go out into the back near the docks, you'll find the shipping crew is already prepared to load up as soon as need be. We were just looking for someone to do so. Granted, we hadn't really planned to send this out for a while, but they're always on standby.
Very well.
Yep.
And he gives you a nod and motions towards the door.
Alright, I guess we will make our way over to the ship.
Good hunting.
And good hunting to you.
Question, how long would it take to install a new room on the ship?
To what?
If we wanted to add a room to our ship, would we need like extra time or?
That would be... A minute. I forget if we had a thing with like that taking an AP or multiple. It's mostly just part of shopping.
Yeah, I might take an AP to load this stuff up. It's a lot more stuff than last time, and probably a lot more people helping load it than last time.
Right, but they're asking about actually purchasing a new room type.
Oh yeah, you could do that if you want to have them work on it while loading it.
Yeah, I think if the others agree, we might want the enchanter's room so we can make spell scrolls.
I'm not against it.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that will mean that you'll be more or less setting out tomorrow, because getting all that stuff in there and then flying the ship in Windstone and stuff might throw off some of the attunements.
I think that's fine.
We got to do it sometime.
Right?
Right, yeah. Do you guys remember how much that costs?
Nope.
200.
All right, so that's like
I don't think it divides.
40
doesn't.
each, but
It's 40 each.
I can do that.
Yeah, I'll pitch in 40.
Wait, 5, what am I saying? What was I thinking to divide by 3?
I don't know.
Alright,
Yeah, you have an enchanter's room now.
all the benefits that come with it.
Nice.
Also, we might want to stock up on rations so we don't forget.
We have 25 on the boat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy 5 more.
I'll buy 5 more now.
I'm gonna be running some calculations, but if it's okay, I'll be spending the money on my rations in just a bit. But
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
You can assume that you've bought supply, ration, stuff from here.
Did you still need a full plate dock?
that would be nice to get. Yeah.
How short you are, because I can help you make up the difference.
I'm at 952 right now.
Okay,
I
I'm at
It takes.
580.
Wait, so it just takes a day to forge it if we have the supplies, though, right?
If you have the forge, if you have access to the forge, which I believe Mordecai offered you, you could do it.
Forge was at the.
Yeah, but the forge is at the Sharktooth Den, though. Unless you install one.
Yeah,
There's
we
the-
can choose between the enchanter's room or the forge, I guess.
I would say we probably want the enchanter's room. I think it's more valuable.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are willing to delay our departure by one more day.
Will be 2 days, right? 1 day to the Sharktooth Den, and then 1 day back.
Well, we could theoretically. The supplies are gonna have to be on the ship, though.
I mean, the ship can still get bottled with the supplies on it, though.
I guess that's true. And then we could take off from around Sharktooth Den. Actually, it probably wouldn't be any faster to do that than taking off here.
But Celestia's over here. Stormgate.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I
right.
don't think it would be any faster than coming back here and taking off.
Yeah. I think it might be worth the deviation, though, because I'm not sure if Clergy's a magic place, so they probably don't have it. And I don't know if we'll have an opportunity to buy it in Celestia, but...
My brain stopped. What are we looking to do?
Plate armor.
Right.
Yeah,
or
stop
something.
by Sharktooth Den to use the forge to make Devon plate armor.
Sure. We can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this day still has 2 movement left, technically speaking.
All right. So I guess we just drop off the ship and let the guys load it up while we go back.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Whose turn was it to roll now? Crow.
Yeah.
Five.
Reroll it. Do it.
89.
Ooh, nice.
I must consult his chart now. Unless you want me to,
I'm blanking right now.
Ice.
No, I mean I have the rolls. It's
Yeah, that's fair. Actually, yeah, I think I know what to do with this. Continue forward.
All right. We're there.
All right. And the forge is there and waiting for you, and I'm trying to remember how we ruled this. Do you remember, Ice?
Doesn't it require half the normal gold cost of the item?
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was that, but I was
That's
like,
kind of what
had
I
to
was
make sure.
going to default to because I didn't remember.
Yeah, it's half,
Yep,
but
you can
usually
craft.
takes a bunch of time. So.
Yeah, half the you can craft mundane items for half the retail cost.
Okay, I can go ahead and supply the 900 gold necessary then.
All right. And you come back to these roughnecks, and you just saunter on in. You just start using the forge. That's how you impress them.
Yeah. You just
And, yeah.
nonchalantly go in there and like don't even blink when you do it.
Yeah, you spend the rest of the AP here, but you have your full plate.
Awesome. And is there a chance that they are willing to buy my splint mail?
Yep.
How much can I get for it?
Full retail price.
Oh, dang. Doesn't it go for like 200? Let me double check. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yes,
200.
it does go for 200. Awesome.
So yeah, you offset the cost by another 200, 700 cost in total. But yeah, that's what I was saving it for. Because I figured you might sell it.
Awesome.
Alright, well, unfortunately, I gotta get going here, but if you guys want, you can keep going on without me.
Can you roll for the next day's travel first?
That I can do. 1d100.
Oh,
Maybe you didn't want me to roll that.
maybe not.
Wow.
Oh well.
All right, but yeah, you make your way back to the shipyard, and the ship's looking all nice and stuff. The room is all set up. The windstone is nice and polished. It maybe they put in some air freshener because they smelled some pickled herring in here. And you have one more movement, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's when you see a familiar flag.
Boy.
Rats.
Ratos. All right.
Not again.
They're coming in. And this is where we switch over to ice mode.
Given its current time, though, and the fact that Zapper is leaving, I'm actually going to ask if
Fair enough, actually.
we want to put this off.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Having one short one isn't that bad, yeah.
Because I feel like it'd be kind of
Yeah.
lame to suddenly throw an encounter at you guys like this and have someone just have to leave.
Yeah, that's fair. That's my bad.
That being said, we can either retcon the encounter or just end here.
I think we could just like start with the encounter next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Well, that's what we will do. So thank you all for watching. We'll find out how they obliterate the rats next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Steam, please don't put a pop-up in front of the end stream button. That's really not cool. Okay, properly